What's up? What's cracking? How y'all doing? I don't know where I'm going with this, but I think this is. I don't know. I've been putting this off for a hot minute, so I figured I would just make a video and stare into the camera like I used to, and say what's good, see how you guys are doing, reach out to everybody. I've been kicking around an idea. This is just going to be a free flow thought. Most of you that I talk to either on Discord or Instagram or something like that, and you end up getting my 21-minute messages straight to your ear holes at like 8 a.m. of just the 300 miles an hour that I'm going already at like 7 a.m. while I'm walking the dog. This is gonna be a little bit of that. Nothing major, but I've been really in my head for the past couple months now, and then on top of that, ever since I moved, everything changed, and not bad. I know that sounds dramatic, but it's not. But it's just a lot of things changed, right? Like, keep looking at myself here, and it's like flipped. It's gonna be weird, but anyways, yeah. I've been wanting to play around with the idea of I've always wanted to make the podcast, and there was always the recap, and I can get into that later if I remember, if I remember. But I want to start something new, and I think it's going to be called Behind the Lenses because and then also, you and I really want to reach out to people and have conversations, but also the the stuff that just goes on in my head all the time. And nothing's really going to change, like automotively related, I guess, for the most part, because I still have my cars. And well, I have one of my cars, two of my cars. I might be getting rid of one of them and trying to sort my life out in some way. I could get into that too at the same time. Who knows? But I guess that, is a good segue into the recap. And a lot of people always say, like, hey, when's it coming back, or post more videos? And I always think when people say post more videos, they're expecting the recap. Um, and not like just myself. Because when I started the channel, I was living in the Bay Area and I'm now in Vegas. And it was fun because I like at the time, I look back and it was like 6 years ago, 7 years ago when I maybe started the channel, and that was like peak vlogger time. And the reason I started the recap was I was like if there's ever a time when I consistently make content, um oh my god. Oh my god. My cat. My bad. My here. Yeah. Hold on. Let me evict this. Let me evict this dude from my desk. We'll get back into this situation. All right. This is not a professional operation. You guys can see that. But like when I was living in the Bay Area, if you ever see me post a lot of content rapid fire, it's because I don't have a job. So I default into, well, I have time on my hands, let me make some content. And that's what started the recap. But also just me making videos. It was about like 7+ years ago. I got laid off from a job. This was right before I started working at Saki Bomb. Oddly enough, I'm wearing their shirt. Shout out to Heath, Chris, Travis, and the rest of the goons that are still out there making it happen in Fremont, California. But very, 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 very heavily inspired by like all the vloggers at the time. Like obviously it's really hard to talk about like not talk about like Casey Neistat. There was Ben Brown. There was a lot of big big people that were like doing vlogs, and I was like, I could do this. And I had my Canon T3i and a Canon 10 to 22 millimeter lens, and it was like ultra wide. Um, and I was like, I could do this easy. And I just started doing it. So like my first 10 or 15 videos were just me in my garage, in my parking lot at my apartment complex. And then when I used to still go into the city, I would just vlog that entire thing. And then I'd come home and I would edit. And I learned like Premiere Pro, and now that's all I use. So like I'm really, really, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good with the whole Adobe thing. And that's mainly because I started to want to make content. So like After Effects and all that. I mean, that's not the point, right? Um, but since I didn't have a job, I sat in my little room at the time and I consumed tons of content. Consumed tons of content. We're talking, and at the peak of, this is gonna be jumping around, but like at the peak of the recap, just so you guys have some insight, I would, throughout working, being home, hanging out in a week before I would record on a Sunday for that Monday recap, I would probably consume conservatively 20, 25 hours of YouTube to find new content and to actually know what people were doing. And you might think like, that's not that long, and it isn't, but it is like 25 plus. But and for those that are like, that seems like a lot. It's like it's not really, because if you think about it, the average Young Static video was about 20 minutes, 18 to 20 minutes sometimes, at least 15. Most PFI videos were well over 10 minutes. Chris Sadowski at the time was still making a bunch of videos. He still is. Obviously, we can get into a bunch of stuff because it's not like I stopped watching content, but like every video was 10 to 15 minutes. And when you go on a run and you watch like 15 videos, like that's like 2-3 hours in a day, right? Really fast. You don't even notice that happen. And that's every day. It's literally every day, because you're just like, well, what's happening on a day-to-day basis, right? And I'd have like a little notepad. And then on Sunday, I turned my garage into a studio. I bought like 2 lights and a green screen, and I would run in there, and I had a T3i, and then I got the A6300. And this was before I got the Shinobi, and I could actually like record longer than 30 minutes. But mainly DSLRs, you get a 30-minute time span before they like stop recording. Technically, it's like a legal thing, I think, because otherwise you're a camcorder, so that doesn't matter. But and I had my phone recording the audio, and I had a list of people who I was going to talk about on my phone. And I hit play, ran, sat down, and then it was just straight up like, "What's cracking, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Honda Recap." And I just right off the dome, every single day, I would think and do and figure out like what I was going to talk about, what I was going to say, what was going to happen that moment in time, you know. And it got to be a point where every Sunday I would be recording something, and then also on top of that, yeah, every Sunday was just that. Record it, edit it, Monday go, rinse, repeat. And I think I never missed. I think I missed twice, but like I don't think I missed anything for like probably 4 years if you did the math. Could be wrong. You know, someone else out there wants to do it. Let me know. There was a couple times that I flew out to Baltimore, like the East Coast, and I recorded stuff there because I was out and I didn't want to miss one, right? But what I learned through that entire process was that I didn't do anything to my car because I never had time. And then years later, I'm realizing that I still don't prioritize myself. And I consistently prioritize like anything else than myself. And then I got to a point where I started to realize that, one, I would cover the same people all the time. And if you think about it, the same people that I would cover are the same ones that haven't stopped 6 years later. So those are the dedicated crew. And then I would find new people, and then I would talk about them, and then we would go from there. But at the end of the day, I never did anything for myself. And when I did, it didn't matter, right? Because like those videos wouldn't do as well as like a recap. But I think it's just because everybody was ready to watch that video on Monday. So obviously more people came for that. And then I really just started backtracking in my head. Well, like, I don't want to just spout off for other people, right? And then that's when like getting in my head really mattered to me, because it was like before there was YouTube, I was still doing what I was doing, right? Like it was like early 2000s maybe, and I still had a car. I've had like 5 EJs. Then that was like way before the Soul, and like I would still do the same stuff, just not on camera. I think I did more then than I do now. And it's not time. I think it was just passion and just wanting to do it as much. And it's not so much burnout. It's just more so like, I don't know, time, I guess. Time and prioritization of if you actually want to do anything. But that being said, I already lost. See what I mean? This is how Behind the Lenses goes. It's just in my head constantly. At the end of the day, the recap stopped because I moved, and because I moved, I wanted to focus more on on my own stuff. But my soul is still in the Bay Area, and I wish I still had it. I brought my EF because I thought I had enough parts that I could build that car and use up all the parts that I've purchased to put on that car. And then when I brought the Soul, it was already kind of like done in some ways. It's nowhere near done, but it's done for me. I'm happy with it, you know? Like, sure, there's always in a world of like K swapping and doing all that stuff, but like, I don't know. Del Sol's probably one of those cars where like I've taken it apart so many times to like nothing and put it back together that I'm just kind of like, what do you do with that anymore? You know? Yeah, I mean, you could always keep building it, but I don't know. Is what it is. Is what it is, right? But yeah, I don't know if I'll bring the recap back. Sometimes I want to, but I more enjoy doing this, being able to just communicate to people and talk to them and kind of actually have a little bit more meaningful conversations. So I would really love to be able to do this with other people, not just myself, obviously, but I think I might still do this for myself and just voice a podcast, weird therapy session, I guess, in some odd way, right? Just kind of explaining like that's where the recap went, and I still have everything. I still would love to do it, but I don't know. Let me know. Let me know what you guys think. Um, but yeah, that being said, I really just wanted to hop on here and discuss like just all the stuff that's been going on. I've been in and out of working for like past year, which has been kind of crazy because when you saw all of those videos for the EF, it's because I just got out of a contract job and it was really crazy. I worked for this company for like 2 years. They just let me go for some reason. I literally say for some reason because like just doesn't make any sense really, but that's whatever, right? And then I had like a month or so to myself, and then I was able to actually land a contract job, and I was able to make a game for Google, which was crazy. But that was only like 4 months, and then I had like another month to myself, so I haven't been able to find work, but it's fine because it's like I don't really know what the hell I'm trying to do, which is just kind of where I'm at right now and why I'm making this video because um some of my friends that I talk to a lot know that I rabbit hole down so many different things. In the past, probably like month, I've tried to make my own indie game. I've tried to start an NFT collection. I've built a couple random websites that just didn't really go anywhere. I've tried to work on my car. I did start a business, like legitimately started a business, Pixel Widget LLC. And the point of that business was to kind of be like not social media management, but also just to have like a digital agency because everything that I do is always online or tech based. So I was like, if I can do this for people, like at least I'd have a business for it. But I haven't really nailed down what I'm doing there. And then the current project that I'm on now is probably going to end in like 2 weeks. And then I pick up another project, but that's only for like 2 weeks. So it's like I'm skating by, and this isn't like a sympathy or like anything like that. This is purely a like, um, it's like a journey of like, what the hell am I trying to do? Because for 15 plus years, I've been in tech and I've been specifically in games. I've been a game producer or like a mobile producer for, I don't know, at least 15 years. Um, just making games like literally on either Facebook or mobile or console or recently web and now something else. And it's just like same thing, rinse, repeat. But it's one of those like there's no enjoyment in what you do, but it does pay decently well. But you know, I'm gonna be like 38, I'm gonna be 39, and I can continue doing what I'm doing for a hot minute. But I'm also wondering like, see, like where does it end, right? Like what am I doing? Got to find that creativity, and I think that's the biggest thing I'm dealing with right now. And if you've made it this far, this like 15-minute just mental fucking rant, props to you, and I appreciate it. And if you've been in the same position or you're in the same position, like let me know because I'd love to talk about it and I'd love to pick other people's brains. Um, just really trying to understand like how do people find their passion and how do people have the motivation to find it. Um, and if you just I don't know, man. Like, shout out to Jesus, man. My cat's just losing its mind over here, right? But shout out to Izzy still YDG, and man, like that guy started a car washing business and then he went all in, you know. And is it his passion? I don't know, dude. But like he's making it happy. He's making it happen, and he's happy, you know. And it's things like that that I would be like, how did you land there, and how did you find it, and if you have something like that where you're just like, oh, I landed on my feet as I went down, but I mean, I'm not exactly happy with it, but I made it work and I'm content with it. Like, I'd love to hear how you landed there, you know? Kind of lost focus already where I was going, but that's episode 1, I would guess I would call it, you know? I'm just really trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing, and I'm going to get back to the car. I'm going to get back to other stuff, but it's becoming more enjoyable talking to people and seeing what other people are actually going through in life for the most part. So if you want to be included, let me know. And then at that same time, to get back into cars, because this is Honda Vlogs, I guess, you know, I'd love to get my soul back. I'd love to finish the EF. I need a Halo car. All my cars are like rinkety in some way, or they're missing something to make them right, and that bothers me. And that's another reason that like I've been in a weird place, because like put the effort in to get what you want, but it's also just like I need a good base, you know. But I'd love to get my soul back, and I'd love to sort out a daily that actually is dailyable, and then work backwards, I guess. But I don't know. Offshoot rant. If this goes up, sick. If it doesn't, I don't know. But if it did, I appreciate you. Let me know how you guys are doing. I got more content coming. I'm gonna do these more, I think. If you like it, let me know. If you don't care. Appreciate you guys, and talk to you soon.